Kristen, and I haven't been this excited for a video in a while. I've had so many random questions, funny questions, fandom questions, and very, very deep questions. I'm very, very excited to make this video for you guys, and I really hope you enjoy it. I asked you guys to ask me questions on my Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and I got questions everywhere. I want to get started with my Tumblr questions because most of you guys were anonymous, and I think it's really funny because you know who you are, but I have no idea who you are. So here we go. Anonymous asked, this is just a simple question for your video. How are you? How's your day been so far? My day has been very interesting. Yeah, I'm having a fantabulous, awesome, fantastic day. Thank you for asking. And it just got better because you asked that question. Hey, I don't know if this is too big a question for your video, but I'm gonna try anyway. I self-harm and my mom knows, and she wants me to talk to her about it, but I can't because she doesn't understand. I don't know what to do because I really want to talk to someone about it because I feel like there's something wrong, but on the other hand, I feel pathetic and there's nothing wrong with me. I don't know. I just don't know what to do. Whew, you guys get deep. First thing that I thought about when I read this question, if your mom knows you self-harm, if your parents know you self-harm and they want you to talk about it and they want to know about it, probably because they want to help you and probably because they don't want to see you like that. They don't want to see their son or daughter hurting. So my advice to you is maybe talk to your parents about your self-harm. You're not pathetic. I know it's really, really hard when you first talk to your parent about self-harm and you don't know what to say. You really don't. I have a whole video. I'll link it right here if you want to go watch it on how to talk to your parents about self-harm. And that was one of my first videos I ever made. Please go check that out. Okay, next question. Anonymous asks, hey Kristen, do you watch Supernatural? If so, what do you think about Destiel? Oh my god. I don't know who asked this question, but do you know me in real life? Yes, I watched Supernatural, but I haven't watched the last season, so don't spoil it for me down in the comment. My friends have all watched it, but I was watching Dexter at the time, so I was totally like not watching anything on actual TV. I only have Netflix right now, so I'm waiting for it to go on Netflix. That's my excuse, whatever. So Destiel, or Destiel, don't know what that is. It's the two characters in Supernatural, Dean and Castiel. Tumblr, because I really feel like Tumblr did this, they want them to get together. I knew about this whole ship before I started watching the show, and I'm like, what is this? So like, they can't be really in love. And then you actually watch the show, and you're like, they should bang already. I totally ship it. And if you want to unfollow me because I ship Destiel, bye. I used to make fan art. I would read all of the naughty fan fictions about Destiel. If you want me to, if anyone is interested, wanting to get into fan fiction, not naughty, but any kind of that kind of fan fiction, I got you. Let me know down in the comments. I will totally send you some really good fan fiction. Next question. When, if you have kids, what would you want to name them? Whew, you guys asked the real stuff. Well, I don't know if this is normal, but I have a list on my phone where if I ever hear a really cool name, I write it down because I don't want to forget it. Because when I have a child, I want to name it a really cool name. So let me read you some of the names that I have down. Here we go. Here's the list. It's pretty long. It's a long list. Margaret, Scarlett, Ruth, Walter, Roger, Feather, Silver, Charlotte, Easy. It's just like the Seinfeld episode when George wants to name, he wanted to name his future child Seven. And so Easy is kind of like my seven, but my partner right now, he's like, you can't name a child Easy. And I'm like, that's a great name though. You know, I do have a lot of interesting child names once I do start having kids. 3 movies that always make you happy. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Ghostbusters, Bowfinger. Bowfinger, it has Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's my favorite movie. If I saw you out and about in the world, would it be okay to come up and say hello? Yes, but tell me how you know me. Like, I know you through YouTube. Don't just come up and go, Kristen! Because I wouldn't know who you are. But if you say, Kristen, like Kristen, I'd be like, hi. We'll take pictures and be best friends. It's totally okay if you see me out and about in the real world to come say hi. I might go to VidCon next year, but I'm not sure. I was invited by Katie Morton to go to VidCon. She sent me a thing saying, are you going to VidCon? I'm like, I can't. But next year, I might be at VidCon. So if you're at VidCon or if you see me out and about in the world, come say hi. Come give me a hug. Let's chat. Let's see. Yes. Yes. What do you think is the best way to end a friendship? There's never a really good way to end a friendship. It really depends on why the friendship is ending, it's gonna be hard. Maybe you just say, hey, we're not gonna be friends anymore, and the other person says, okay. Sometimes you just drift apart. I made a whole video on that. Just tell the friend, hey, it's not working out, or just stop talking to them. You don't have to be friends with everyone. I don't like you. Yeah. I'm 18 and I want to go to the doctors about my mental health, and I'm worried that the doctor will tell my parents as I still live at home. What should I do? P.S. I wanted to say thank you for making your videos. It really helped me. Aww. So let me tell you something about confidentiality. It really depends on what you're going to the doctor about your mental health. There's a doctor-patient confidentiality. The doctor will not call your parents and tell your parent your diagnosis. That's not what they're gonna do. And in therapy, it's the same thing. You could tell your therapist a lot of things that they won't tell your parents if you're under the age of 18. If you're going to a therapist for the first time, ask your therapist, just hypothetically speaking, if I were to tell you this, would you have to tell my parent? And they will tell you what exactly they will tell your parents and what they won't tell your parents. And then you will know going into it if they will tell and if they won't tell. A doctor is different. There's a doctor-patient confidentiality. They won't tell your parents unless your life is in danger or you're a danger to others, or if they're in the room. They're in the room when you're going, if you're going to the doctors, just say, hey, I kind of want some privacy with the doctor. Can you step out for a second? That should be the end of it. I wanted to ask you if you collect stories or you just want to be someone who helps or makes them feel heard. I think you're making a lot of progress in your videos, editing, etc. And I don't know, I just wanted to tell you that your work is awesome. Thanks. I'm not a story collector, but people who have the passion to want to be a therapist and want to help people, we have the passion to want to hear stories. We're not gossip queens. We just like people to talk. I don't tell people to email me their stories because I want to collect them. I believe that if you write down your story and you say your story, it's going to relieve you of some of the stress. Because I have a lot of people who email me and they say, I've never told this to anyone, or I barely talk about this. If you talk about a really hard time in your life or something you're really struggling with and you talk about it, it's going to relieve you of some of that stress. So I'm just here for people to talk to, because as you're writing, you're gonna feel so much better. I'm not a therapist, I don't give out medical advice, but I love to hear you guys' stories, and I love to see your progress. Anyway, I'm not a story collector, I'm just someone who wants to help. My goodness, there's so many questions. How's your self-harm recovery going, and how many days have you been clean? Thank you, by the way, you're my favorite mental health YouTuber. You inspire me to make videos about mental health. You better make videos about mental health, and you better send them to me so I can find your channel. But if you make mental health videos, please leave them down below so I can see them, so I can subscribe to you. My self-harm recovery, just like you and just like many other people on this channel that come visit the channel and come see my videos, I'm in recovery from self-harm, and it is a day-to-day process. It is a day-to-day process. It's a roller coaster ride. Some days I'm great, I don't think about self-harm, but other days I think about it constantly. That's just all part of recovery. I'm gonna say I'm 2.5 months clean. I had a slip up a few months ago where I was 6 months clean and then I did self-harm, but I'm better now. I'm feeling a lot better now. Thank you so much for asking that question, because I want you guys to know that I am in recovery with you guys. Just like you, I'm in recovery, and I know the struggle of how hard it is on a day-to-day basis. And don't think that I don't care about you guys, because I know what you're going through. I know what you're feeling, and it sucks, but I know we can get through it together. And you guys inspire me so much in my recovery, and you guys help me so much in my recovery. So I want to say thank you so much for being there for me, and yeah, thank you. Now I'm answering your questions from YouTube. Naomi Ornstorm, she asks, is self-harm a mental health issue? People say that someone who self-harms is mentally ill. Can you go to rehab for self-harm? So 1, is self-harm a mental health issue? Yes. 2, but people say that someone who self-harm is mentally ill. Yes. And 3, can you go to rehab for self-harm? Yes, you can, because if you are self-harming, there are other mental health problems that are happening as well, such as depression. Maybe you have anxiety, an anxiety disorder. Maybe you have a different type of personality or mood disorder. So self-harm does not have its own diagnosis in the DSM, and that's a big thing that I feel like it should, but you can go to rehab for self-harm if you are self-harming, because if you do self-harm, there's something else going on. It's not just you're harming yourself, there's a reason you're harming yourself. Rose Meow, what would you say to a person whose friends have left them because of their mental illnesses? They're not your friends. Plain and simple. If they were your friends, they would be supporting you and they'd still be here. And if you tell someone that you have a mental illness or you're struggling and they leave, they're not your friends. Go find friends that really support you and love you and want to get you better. So Destiny, someone asked, I think your gap is so cute, but what are your feelings about it. Do you want braces? Do you want braces of the past? Yada yada yada. I get a lot of questions daily about my teeth. What happened? Why do you have a gap in your mouth? Do you know you're missing a tooth? I was born this way. I think I'm beautiful with my teeth. Sometimes people don't think so because it is different. Destiny also said that she was called Bucktooth Beaver and Bugs Bunny. I love Bugs Bunny. He's my favorite, and when I was a kid, I was called Bugs Bunny too. Or I have SpongeBob teeth. I always thought, you know, me and SpongeBob had a bond that no one else could understand. So to clear up all the questions and comments about my teeth, because that's what people see in the videos, is me and my teeth. I don't care if you hate my teeth. I don't care if you think I look like SpongeBob or Bugs Bunny, or I've gotten some really interesting ones and some very colorful responses to my appearance, and I think those people are really low, and I'm gonna pray for those people because those people need help. A lot more help than I can give them. Going on the internet and saying all these horrible things about someone's teeth. I love myself. I think I'm beautiful, and if you have teeth like mine, and I've seen a lot of people on YouTube with teeth like mine, there's nothing wrong with us. It's a beauty trend that we're just totally ahead of everyone else. Someday, people are gonna want to make their teeth like this. I know you don't think so right now. When you watch this video in 20 years, everyone's gonna have teeth like this. Emily Faith asks, if you could pick a last meal, what would it be? My last meal would probably be pizza. Deep dish, Chicago fire, all meat pizza with a little bit of ranch on the side. Not healthy at all, but I don't care because that would be a really good last meal. What's your favorite thing to do in your spare time? I don't have a lot of spare time. All my spare time goes into you guys and editing and YouTube and all that stuff. I like to read a lot. I watch X-Files. I'm so cool. Do you play any instruments? So, you wanna know if I can play an instrument? Emily wants to know if Kristen can play an instrument. Well, Emily Faith, yes I can. Yeah, I can play an instrument. That was the first one I played in 6 years? 7 years? 3 years? I don't know. Let me play you a song, Emily, hold on. I don't have any of my sheet music here with me. This is just a song that I wrote for you right now. And this song is called Emily Faith. It's for you. Screen because I can't fit all your questions into one video. So what I'm gonna do is this one's part 1. Next week, hopefully the first video of the week, I will post part 2. So if your question was not answered, I'm sorry, I did answer it, but it was gonna be a 25-minute video. Anyway, my links are right here on the left-hand side if you guys wanna go check that out. I'll see you guys next week with part 2. Bye guys.